All right, all right. Well, I'm happy it's another Wednesday. It is June, so we are celebrating Pride Month all month. So each of my guests that come on, I want you to share your coming out stories, okay? I want to know how old you are, the who, what, where, when, and why. I want you to get into the nitty gritty. I got a bunch of you in the queue, so I will bring you on. But tag, you have you tagging the wrong people, but tag some of your friends or share the video so that they can come watch tonight, okay? And I'm gonna bring on Dominus. He is the co-host tonight, and then um, Chu and Trenton, and there's who else? I see y'all all in the queue. Hello, 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 hello. Renaissance
Hi there,
guy
how
is
are
in the
you?
queue too. I'm doing good. I'm doing great. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's been a very eventful week for me, so I'm enjoying it.
Eventful. What's give us two eventful things that happened as you're pixelating over there, real quick.
Um, hmm. Uh, the gym workouts have been really good this week. Um, Pushes have been really good, and husband and I had a special play date yesterday, so it was pretty fun.
Okay,
It's pretty good
husband
actually.
play date. So I reposted one of your videos today. I don't know if you saw that.
Mm-mm.
I think you did a video where it was about when couples go do a hookup with somebody and y'all left the hotel room or something like that.
Yes, yes, that's happened a couple times where we've decided to just leave. I'd rather have no time than a decent time. I'm always really particular about the fun we like to have.
So tell me, like, what were the like? Give me two reasons why y'all would leave a hookup session.
So the last time I left the hookup session with my husband was because so a man came to, so we live in like in this apartment building, and this guy sent us some photos, and he was like, "Hey, this is what we look like. Can I come play?" My husband and I were like, "Sure, you should come over. He looks pretty good." So he came, and we met him downstairs because our apartment, you can't get in unless we let you in.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Smart.
always we always we always go downstairs. We never let anybody come in the building. We meet them outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I met them outside, and my husband looked at me, and I looked at my husband. I was like, "Who's this?" And he was like, "He don't match his photos." And the guy's like,
Catfish.
"Hi," and it wasn't catfish. He was like a good 70 pounds heavier, and he was like a good 15 years older. And I stopped him. He came to the door, and I said, "Let's go upstairs and have a drink." So we got upstairs, and I was like,
You
"I'm
still
gonna be honest
invited
with
him
you.
up?
I wanted to be nice. Yes, I did. I
Child,
did.
I'd have been like,
Um,
no, no. You took that
I
picture
invited him up.
decades ago and you're not the same weight?
I looked at him and I said, "Hey, so this isn't gonna happen. I just wanted to be really honest with you. I said, your pictures don't match your profile, and because of that, we are no longer interested in having any sexual relations with you. But if you would like to have a drink, we can have a drink, and I'm always down to get to know somebody." This man was livid. He was so upset. And he was like, um, he's like, "What's wrong with you guys? I look like my pictures." I'm like, "Dude, no, you don't." And then he ended up being honest with us. He's like, "Well, I have this condition. I'm actually about to die in like 2 to 3 years, and I'm just having as much fun as possible. And the photos that are on my page are from like 15 years ago, and it just is what it is. I don't plan on changing them." And I was like, "Okay, you can go."
Yeah, because now I'm
So,
depressed and my dick is not getting hard because the whole drama in the lie. But
period.
happy you acknowledged it.
Yeah, it was
Whew.
really bad.
Okay, 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 okay.
Another time, um, I think the second time we did that was when I was in my throuple. And one of my husbands was hitting one of the guys, and my other husband was hitting me, and just a smell came up, and we just couldn't get rid of it, so we just decided to just end things then and there.
Someone was
And
digging too deep,
yeah,
or
my
somebody
husband was
wasn't
well into that.
prepared.
somebody wasn't prepared.
They weren't
No.
prepared. Yeah, they weren't prepared. Okay, 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 okay. Enough story time because we'll be here for 10 days. Tell everybody your name, a little bit about you, because you're my co-host tonight. Before we start bringing some of the people on.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi guys, I am Mr. Dominus. I am from DC. Well, actually, I'm actually from originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I was born and raised there. I'm a polyamorous and gay sex advisor for people. My whole goal is to help people have intentional sex. So I like to educate people on different type of sexual techniques, different types of fetishes, and to inform people on how to have the most fun possible, but also pull them along the polyamorous way. I've been in a polyamorous relationship for the past 8 years. It is what I wanted. I never dabbled in it. I just got into it immediately. I always knew that monogamy wasn't for me. And so I'm always an advocate for polyamorous life and educating people on this.
Love it, love it. So I'm always a big advocate of being honest and true about who you are. If monogamy
Mhm.
is not your thing, don't try to trick somebody to be in a monogamous relationship and you're doing things on the side. Just find somebody who matches your energy, who's like either open or poly. And my understanding of poly is like all of you are in a relationship together. It's not like
That's No,
no.
actually. No, actually. So polyamory has to do with just it's being able to maintain the ability to have multiple partners.
Mhm,
So a lot of polyamorous relationships they will have an anchor partner.
mhm.
So the way I started out originally, I was in a throuple. So my husband, when I met him, he had a husband of 8 years prior.
Ah.
So I ended up joining them, and then one of my husbands passed away about 3 years ago. So it's not just been my other partner and I. So we've facilitated our own relationships. We have our relationships within each other. I was actually really satisfied in my throuple,
Mhm,
but when my partner died, I was realizing there were things that I didn't have in my relationship that I wanted,
mhm,
that my
mhm.
other partner wasn't capable of giving. So I ended up actually we took some time to grieve. It took some time,
Yeah, yeah.
but once the grieving process was we started once we started the healing process, because I don't believe you ever fully grieve. uh we started to introduce other people privately into our lives. So I have a sir in Atlanta, and I also
You have a
have
what?
I have a sir. He's like a dom sir that I
A
have in
dom
Atlanta.
sir. So what's the definition? Y'all gonna learn today. What's the definition of an anchor partner or husband?
So, the previous terminology for it in the poly world, which they've chose to negate due to the fact that it plays on hierarchy,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
people would call their primary partner. So
Primary
they've
or
changed the word to anchor partner now. So your anchor partner is basically the person who you spend primary of your time with. Usually, when it comes to your primary part, to your anchor partner, that's the person you're either married to, you're legally married to them,
mhm,
or you cohabitate and you live with them the most. The other partners that we have, it's all about setting boundaries and what those relationships what they can hold.
mhm.
So, like my other partners that are in Atlanta, I get to fly down to go see them. Um,
So they're like your
uh,
boyfriends in different cities.
yes.
Okay. Okay. But you added a little mix to it. You like your sir because he's more dominant or something. You just
So my relationship with my sir is it's not he's not my boyfriend. He is a dom sir to me. So our relationship is very based on the dynamics of the BDSM world. So I am a sub to him. He's a sir. He's my dom. Um, but I have tasks that I have to do with him. And then my other boyfriend, I call him Daddy. He lives in Atlanta, and I spend a lot of time with him, as much time as possible. He flies up here. I fly down there to go see him as well.
okay. Okay. So yeah, are y'all taking notes, people? I hope y'all taking notes. Things are different in the gay world. Well, the straights do the same thing as well. They have similar
The straights
relationships.
actually
Yeah.
they do. So polyamorous relationships have actually been going on for long periods
Oh
of
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I grew up very, very biblical. So like I'm very well versed in Old Testament culture.
Mm.
Polyamory has been going on since the beginning of time. Even Abraham, he had Sarah and he had Hagar.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's nothing new. The ideology of being monogamous was introduced within the last couple centuries of just being able to have one partner. It's really a fairy tale that has been sold to us, and it can work. I have nothing against monogamy. If it works for you, it works for you. Um, but as individuals, we are very complex and we have the ability to love multiple people. It's just being able to maintain your boundaries and what you're willing to put out there and receive.
Okay, okay. So people are taking notes. Okay, they're loving it. They're like, we're following it. We get it. So you're going to be our co-host. I got some people that I'm going to bring on. You're going to interview them, and I'll take some notes. I'll chime in. I'll fill out the questions in the question box. But
Mhm.
it's your show tonight. Okay, Dominus.
Okay, let's
Okay.
do it.
Oh, before I go, like, are you looking for more boyfriends?
Oh, absolutely. I actually went on a date last week. It was actually a wonderful date. Um, I'm always open to experiences. I never cut myself off, but I also try to make sure like I'm being honest with the time I can give. So like
Mhm.
luckily, my daddy in Atlanta works for Delta, so I get to like flying is never an issue. So I can always fly to Atlanta to and from, um, and so that's a great thing for our relationship where travel isn't an issue. But he's also been very like supportive of me like
Yeah.
using I can fly to other places if I need to. So I'm always actually I went to Portland a month ago
How many
and we met
boyfriends
a
do you
guy.
have?
Current I only have one boyfriend right now. I have one boyfriend, one sir, and one husband.
Okay. That's the team. Okay. They want to know. All right, let me bring these people on because we'll be talking for 10 days. Voodoo, I'm bringing you on. Is it Marshall? Marshall? Let's see. Um, they're like Lamont. They can't find one man, and you introducing me to this guy. He got all these men over here. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I am doing awesome. How you doing?
Good, thank you for having me. I
Yeah.
always watch
Okay.
the show and it's crazy like to be on the show. Like so thank you for having me.
Yes. Can you prop your phone up somewhere? Because like right now we're kind of just looking up your nose as you're laying on the couch or whatever you're doing.
Oh no, not my nose. Do I don't have no booger in my nose, do I?
I
Lord have mercy.
we don't know. You might just prop it up somewhere so we can see you like straight on. Can you do that?
I'm gonna try. I got this little tripod.
Okay. We're gonna make sure we get you in the good light so when we ask you the questions, they can see you and they want to invite you out on some dates. Yeah. I see you. It must be hot where you are because you're like no shirt right now.
Yeah, I live in Fort Lauderdale. So
It's probably hit 100 degrees already.
not yet. I don't think so. Well, actually it's been raining all day, so I haven't been. Is this good?
It's perfect. It's perfect. There you go. There you
Okay,
go.
good.
So this is Dominus. So typically,
Hi there.
Hi. I can only see you. I don't know why.
who can you see, Lamont or Dominus?
You. You. I can't see Dominus.
Oh, because
Oh,
Instagram is the ghetto. That's why sometimes it doesn't let. But everybody can see all three of us.
yeah, I can see.
But can you hear him?
Yes, I can hear him. I just can't see him. But
Okay.
hi.
So
Hi there.
typically I do the show by myself, but tonight I have a co-host who is Dominus. So he's gonna ask you a couple questions, and then and then we'll invite people to ask you questions and for you to go on some dates. Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Mhm.
Dominus, it's all yours.
Yes, sir. How are you doing today, love? You're very handsome, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
How was your day?
My day was good. I was a little nervous to come on here. So and I don't know why, because I'm not really like normally a very nervous person, but yeah, but I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Just remember just to be yourself and you're gonna do an awesome job. We are here to help you find whatever you need to find and to help you be your most authentic self.
Okay.
So let's start again. Let's start with your name. Tell the people your name one more time.
Marshall.
Marshall. All right. And where are you from?
I'm originally from, I grew up between Brooklyn and New Jersey. I moved here from New Jersey, but now I live in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. How long have you been in Fort Lauderdale?
I have been here for about a month.
So I've only been to Fort Lauderdale, I think 1 or 2 times, but the big thing about Fort Lauderdale, I'm guessing, is Wilton Manors. I think it's close to it.
hmm
Do you
Mhm.
go there a lot? How's that area for being in the gay life?
It's good. Well, to be quite honest with you, I haven't really gone to Wilton Manors a lot. I am very busy with my work, and I don't really go out that much. But if I do go out, like I'll go to like the gay beach, like I'll go to Hullover on a Sunday, like that's fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's always a vibe. But yeah, I'm not really, I don't drink, so I don't,
Neither do
you know,
I.
yeah.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 34.
34? Okay, what's your sign?
I'm a Leo.
Oh, ooh. Okay. Do you believe in the stereotypes about Leos?
What are those stereotypes?
Y'all are very strong figured people.
Mhm.
Oh, 1,000%.
Mhm.
1,000%. I don't apologize for it, but this is my thing. I always remind people, if people want to throw shade about anybody's sign, but if we're talking about me, like Leos, I always remind people that everybody pretty much loves Obama,
Hmm.
right? Like the qualities that people love about President Obama are very much his Leo qualities. So,
I know the signs. It's very popular in our culture to ask what people's signs are, but I've always been an avid believer that like you make your own destiny, you make your own path. So I don't let the signs define who you are, and I'm glad that you don't let them do that either. I
mm.
only have like two really good Leo friends, but they are like great people, so I love spending time with them. Um,
If a Leo fucks with you, you really have like an emergency contact. You have a really good, I mean, that person will not leave you at the club if you drunk.
That's a
Like
lie. My best friend that left me at the club, and he's a Leo. He'll be like, "I'm
oh,
out." And I'm like, "Damn."
no. Okay, no, I mean like if you're stranded, like if you're in a situation, like
He not.
that's what I mean.
He's not gonna leave me stranded, but he'd be like, "I'm done. I'm tired." I'd be like, "Oh, okay. I guess I'm here."
Oh yeah, oh yeah. My social battery, yeah, yeah, definitely.
okay. Tell the people how tall you are. Are you
I'm
looking
6 feet.
down? Come on, 6 feet. I ain't there yet. Maybe, hopefully, the girl sport will keep getting me going. I'm 5'10". Do you get a lot of attention for being 6 foot?
No, no, I wouldn't say that I get a lot of attention for my height. No,
Okay. Tell the people how much do you weigh?
I weigh 216.
Okay, cool, awesome. And your race and ethnicity and like cultural background. Where are you from?
African American. My family's from Albany, Georgia.
Auburn, Georgia, you said?
Well, it really is Albany. That's how you're supposed
Albany,
to say it.
yes,
Because I was
You're
like,
supposed
I've
to
never
say,
heard of that before. And I've lived in Georgia
well,
for so many years. I'm like, okay, Albany.
I grew up going down there every summer, and it was crazy because like we were so different. Because I was raised in Brooklyn, and then every summer I'm literally here on dirt roads, red clay dirt, playing basketball barefoot with my cousins. It was like it was a weird, yeah.
So you grew up playing outside.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And British in style.
Freeze tag, all of that. We was little ragamuffins.
country.
Yes.
You sound like my husband. So I already asked you your zodiac sign. So your sexual positions, let's get into it. I know some people find these to be important, some people don't, but like if you had to define yourself when it came to your sexual position, what did you want somebody, what is your preference?
I would definitely prefer somebody that's versatile slash somebody that's like a versatile bottom. You know
Hmm.
what's crazy? I had a conversation with a friend years ago, but it stuck with me because I was like, wow, like people apparently really feel this way. He said that he would never let a light-skinned guy top him.
Why?
Colorism. There we go.
He said, I mean, hey, but get your life. I mean, I never had a complaint. So, you
So, are
Mm,
know,
you more
I
versatile or more like versatile top?
I'm more of a versatile top.
Okay.
And this is the other thing, because, apparently this is how a lot of people think. Maybe not anymore, but this was like maybe 5-10 years ago. But everyone else at the table was like agreeing, like, oh yeah, like I don't think I could let a light skinned guy top me. I'm like, that's interesting. Okay, heard you.
Mm.
I have always kind of been pigeonholed into that, like, oh, I want to top him kind of thing. Also because I have a big ass, so that's the Georgia.
Versatile men, we always have more fun. I think for me personally, like I've always gone through phases when it comes to like my sexual positions and what I want. But I love the fact that you identify that way, and that's a great thing. And it's good to know where you stand, because a lot of gay men in the community, I feel like they don't know where they stand when it comes to their positions. Did you find yourself as you've gone older in age, did you change positions, or has it been steadily? Have you been versatile top?
Oh no, absolutely. Like I've always been versatile, but I definitely leaned more bottom when I was younger. I think because of that kind of unspoken, I guess, societal pressure, like, oh, like you're supposed to be a bottom, like you're light skinned with a fat ass, so you should be a bottom, kind of a thing. And because
Why did
I'm
you feel that way?
versatile, huh?
Why did you feel that way? What societal pressure made you feel that way?
Well, just from, that's what it seemed like guys wanted from me when I was younger, and when you're young, see, I didn't have an Uncle Lamont. Okay. This is, this would have been, a really, really good type of mentor to have for me. But yeah.
Okay, I love that. I really do. And what type of work do you do?
Oh God. So I, oh God. So I'm a Haitian voodoo priest.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't have any shame in what I do. I'm very proud of what I do. But it's just that the conversation is definitely like a line in the sand for a lot of people that either for whatever reason, they have feelings, they have some stereotypes that they haven't worked out in their head. But I am a medium, I'm a psychic. I come from a background of hoodoos, like I'm 5th generation psychic and medium.
Okay.
And my grandmother came to me in a dream and basically told me, like, you need to be fucking with voodoo, because this is like, we have some ancestors that believed in this. And the Haitians, they have a lot of esoteric knowledge that can help you to help people. So this is what I do. Like I have celebrity clients, I have, everyday clients. I mostly like to work with Black women and help them get justice from these fuck niggas out here that do all kind of foolishness and disrespect and abuse to women. So this is one of the spirits that walks very closely with me. She is the spirit that started the Haitian Revolution. So like when she comes on my head, it's I mean, there's times where I can like sleep for like a whole day after that.
Wow.
So that's the long answer. So anybody that deals with me, I mean, my altar is right here. I'm not hiding it.
Let's see this
This is
altar.
me.
Okay. What's on there?
Yes.
What's on there?
What's on it? Yes. Show the people. I'm interested.
Oh God. Well, so there are different things going on. There's different candles that represent different spirits. This is my mom. My mom, shout out to my mama. My mom passed away last month.
Oh,
Um,
condolences, my love.
so thank you. Yeah, I took care of her for 5 months. So, I mean, excuse me, I took care of her for 5 years. So by the time she passed, I was prepared. Like, um, this is another spirit. Because I do spiritual work, like some people, like let's say, like you might have one manifestation of this spirit, and then Lamont may have another, but I have to work with all three because I do spiritual work for people. So, like for an everyday person that wants to do this, they don't necessarily need all of those. Using my mom and my grandparents.
Okay.
So I have a question
This,
for you. So
yeah.
being a medium, and when it comes to dating, I know this is probably something that's not a common field when it comes to hearing people's professions. What do you do, or what are some common questions that people ask you when you tell them that this is what you do? Because I'm sure there's some like stereotypical things that are just like annoying that you probably hear, but like, what is like some interesting things that you've been asked about your profession?
Well, like, do you hurt people? That's one of the main. It's really no either or. Like, people are either really, really intrigued like you,
Mhm.
or they're trying to be polite, and then they'll just kind of like change the subject, because they're not ready to. And I get it. I'm not judging, because even myself, like, I was raised in the church. I grew up AME. I grew up singing in church.
Mhm.
So, there is that cognitive dissonance where we grow up in these families where, these Black women have these freaking magical superpowers, and we normalize it. Like, oh, I had a dream. No, you're a psychic.
Mhm.
You're a clairvoyant, you
Yeah.
know? Um, but I don't really let it bother me at all. I just know that that's not, you know, I mean, yeah, like, I've lost friends because I decided to go that path, you know,
Mhm.
for sure.
All right, so we're gonna move on. Love the profession. So last part of these questions. So, what is your social media handle? Let the people know where they can find you. So while they're watching.
Yeah, so it's Voodoo Tarot Marshall. So VOODOO Tarot TAROT. Somebody said call me now for your free reading. I'm
It's
weak.
not Miss Cleo,
Miss
y'all.
Voodoo, Voodoo Tarot Marshall, MARSHALL. I don't do free readings, but if you want to read in, you could check my reviews. Like, I'm not scamming people. I'm really like out here. So
I love that. All right, did you want me to continue, Lamont?
So if y'all have questions for Marshall, use the question function. But then I think you have the other preference questions, but try to move them a
Yes,
little
I do.
faster so we can get the other
Okay.
people in the queue, okay?
All right, no problem. All right, so let's get through these. All right, so what type of person are you interested in dating?
I'm sorry. Someone said,
I
"Can he
know.
read
You
my
read my
whole?"
whole. Lord have mercy.
The type of
Y'all
person.
say that for the DMs, y'all.
Oh my god, I'm dead. What kind of person am I interested in dating? Someone that has a good sense of humor. Someone that is self-aware
Mm-hmm.
and has a good sense of humor. Someone that is driven, but then also doesn't take themselves too seriously, because that for me can be a little bit of a turn off. Humility,
Mm-hmm.
kindness. I'm really not big into um, body type. I mean, obviously, I have a preference, but
And what's that preference?
I mean, I would prefer someone that's in like the middle of the road, like not someone that's like too skinny or too overweight. Like, other than that, I don't care about, the big muscles like that. That doesn't. I mean, no shade. I mean, they work hard for it. That's great, but that doesn't impress me.
I'm not impressed by them either.
No,
All
I'm
right.
I'm I am impressed by a smart man. I like a smart man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you want to get married and have children?
I don't know how I feel about getting married, only because if somebody tried to, like, I don't know, like steal my money or some shit, like, I would have to put them in a pot. Then the negative side of voodoo would come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to do that. I think I'm half serious. Um, Kids, yeah, but like I said, so I was taking care of my mother for 5 years, and I'm not gonna lie, it was like a jail for her because she had a stroke and she couldn't walk or talk or anything for those 5 years. And it was also like jail for me. So I'm just now getting free.
Mhm.
So hell no, I don't want no kid. Like, I need at least 5 years back of my life. before
Okay.
I devote anything to anybody. Like if they want to, my ideal thing is somebody that, we get up and go and travel. I love to travel. Paris is one of my favorite places. I love good food. I cook well. You know.
All right. And what's a good age range for you?
Someone in their 30s. I'm about to be 35 in August, so I would like someone that's between 30 to 40.
No one younger, no one older. You wouldn't date like maybe 20s, maybe late 40s.
No, no,
What?
no, no, no YNs for me. I'm done. One just pissed me off. I'm good.
All right. And do they have to currently live in your city?
No.
Okay. How far are you willing to travel if they don't live in your city?
Mm, I mean, I haven't thought about that. I would have, I mean, that would depend on how strong of a connection I feel to the person, you know?
Okay. And a couple more questions. What race or ethnicity do you prefer when you are dating?
100% black, 100%. They have to be black.
And why no other races?
Because I'm just, I mean, I've dated outside of my race, but I just prefer, I mean, it's nothing like a black man. It's just not, mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Okay. Okay.
Okay. And last two questions. What physical body type do you prefer?
Well, I kind of went into that. So no, I'm not naked. Lord have mercy. I just have my shirt off, y'all. Relax. Um, just someone that has like, I guess, like an average body,
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, are you into monogamy, open relationships, or poly?
I would be interested in monogamy, but more so like someone that I guess I could be honest with. Like, let's say like if we're on a trip, we're on a trip somewhere and we see a guy that we both feel is like really attractive that we wanted to hook up with. It wouldn't be like we would get jealous or feel like weird about it, but I would like to have the basis to start off as monogamy. Yeah,
So monogamy, but open to open relationship.
not too open, but yeah.
Okay. Curious. All right.
Okay.
Well, I think that was all the questions I had for you.
Perfect, perfect. If y'all have questions for Marshall, put them in the question function or use the chat and then I can use those. So let's see what questions they have for you. Let's see. Oh, someone said stand up, turn around. We're gonna do that in a moment, not yet though. um, what other questions they got for you? I don't see any. So yeah, can you someone said can you give us a reading? I don't think that's how it works, people. I don't think that's how it works. Can you read somebody just by their screen name?
Can I read someone? I would have to do my opening like voodoo. So voodoo is not a game. Like there's a lot of respect and there's a lot of like things that has to be done. I have to pray first, y'all. I can't just like there's even certain days I can't have sex because I'm married to two spirits. So this is not a game.
Okay. There's another question. Somebody said it's a spicy question. Do you want to get pounded?
What? No. Oh my God. No.
No,
Mm-mm.
no people.
No,
No.
thank you.
Um
No, wholly unacceptable, please.
okay, let us see what you look like from head to toe. I'm gonna do your debrief, okay? You gotta like stand
Okay.
up, turn around so we can see what you look like. All right, you all. This is Marshall. Marshall lives in Fort Lauderdale. He is 34, 6 foot even. Give us a little spin. He is a Leo, 210 pounds. His team verse top. He is a voodoo
Nope.
priest. He does not want to get married, does
216.
not want children for the next 5 years. He will date between 30 and 40. Average build. You can live in different cities. He prefers black men. And the base of the relationship should be monogamy. Tell them your Instagram handle one more time, Marshall.
It is Voodoo Tarot Marshall, and I will put it in the chat as well.
Perfect, 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 perfect. All right, all right. Listen, I'm sure people are going to be sending you messages tonight, Marshall. go on a couple dates, and then come back and give us an update, okay?
I will. Thank you so much for having me. I love your platform, and you're really one of one. Because when I think about a gay dating, this is just, I love what you do. So
Thank you,
thank
thank
you
you,
for having me.
thank you so much.
Bye,
All right,
love. I hope you have a great
see
evening.
ya.
Bye. You too. Okay. Bye bye.
Okay, okay, that's how we did it. That's how it goes. We just got to speed it up a little bit faster.
Okay, I got you.
Just a little
Speed it
bit,
up. I got you.
so we can get everybody. Okay.
All
Um,
right.
but people who are watching, if you think Marshall is dateable, put a 10. If not, put a 1. What you all think? I want everybody who's watching to let us know. And then I'm going to bring on Pharrell. Pharrell, I got you next, so make sure your camera
And for
ready.
those of y'all who were asking, the poly question is in the debrief. It was not my question. It
It's
is
my
definitely
question.
one of his questions. It's not mine.
What they say, you trying to make him poly?
Yeah. Somebody was like, "Was the poly question for you or him?" I was like, "It's for him. It was me."
Yeah, and listen, this show is open for everybody of different spiritual beliefs, or if they don't believe anything, people in the comments are like, they're pleading the blood of Jesus. Like,
Oh
let people
Lord, come
believe
on,
what they
man.
want to do, y'all. Like,
It's not for you, ladies.
oh, all right, I think he's averaging about an 8. Let me bring Pharrell on and see if he is ready. Let's see. Y'all are too funny. Mm-mm-mm. Hello, hello,
Well,
hello.
how are you?
He's handsome.
I'm,
Maybe.
I'm doing great. Now, is it Pharrell?
It's foul.
Wait, say it.
Foul, like gal, but with an F. Foul.
Farrell.
Yes.
Farrell. Okay, so Farrell, can you see Dominus?
Yes.
Okay, so for the
Hi.
other person couldn't see him. Okay. So typically
How are you
I
doing?
host this, but tonight Dominus is co-hosting. So he's gonna ask you some questions to get to know you, okay?
All right.
You said Farrell, right?
Yes.
All right. Hi. So we already got your name. Where are you from, sir?
Trenton, New Jersey.
Trenton, New Jersey. That's up the street. All right. Tell us, how old are you?
54.
54. Okay. And your height?
6'1".
6'1". Okay. And how much do you weigh?
205.
205. All right. What is your ethnicity, race? Where are you from? Where are your parents from?
African American, black. They're
Okay.
black and their parents are black.
Okay.
There was
And
this
your zodiac sign?
not to cut you off, there was this thing that keeps going viral now, saying like if your um family has been here over 3 or 4 generations, you're officially an American. You don't have to say I'm Irish American, I'm African American, I'm whatever, you're just American.
Well, I think in this area, these multicultural areas, that you do have to explain it because, for example, both sides of me to the left and the right, and across the street, are Jamaicans.
Ah.
So there's a lot of people that ethnicities that live on this street and even in this town.
Mm.
So I think that it is good for me to distinguish what type of black I am.
Oh,
You're like, yes, because there's different types of black people. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm first generation. Both my parents from Jamaica.
Mhm. Well, I live around a whole bunch of Jamaicans.
They are a handful. All right. What's your zodiac sign?
Scorpio.
Scorpio. Okay. Ooh. All right. Now, getting to the questions. So, what is your sexual position? What is your preference?
My preference is verse.
Okay.
Mhm.
Have you heard of gay
Love that.
math?
Gay math?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so if you go on a date with a guy, first or second date, this is a question I say you should ask people. So, like in the last 12 months, what percentage did you top? What percentage did you bottom?
Oh, in the last 12 months, maybe 90 or 95%, I was the top. But I think my soulmate is with a verse person. But ever since I got older, um, I attract more bottoms and more Puerto Ricans.
More bottom, more bottoms and more Puerto Ricans as you get older. What
Yeah.
is that about?
Yes, I'm
Uh,
interested.
my look changed. Before I used to have hair up here that was black and no beard,
Oh, because
and
it's
then
definitely giving daddy.
this is gray with no hair, so it's like the opposite. And then when that changed, if I don't speak, people always ask, "Am I Dominican?"
Hmm.
So they think you're one of their cousins, and they wanted, and the
So
older
they think I'm
cousin.
one of their cousins, and then when they find out, it's just like I fit in their club.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
for your previous statement, you said that when it comes to most of the hookups you've done lately, you tend to be topping. Why is that? If you are verse.
Uh, these are just the people who was attracted to me, or if I was attracted to them, I did not find out until the ball started to roll.
Okay. All right. And what type of work do you do?
I'm a truck driver,
Okay. How long you been truck driving?
about 3 years.
Oh, really? You have a CDL?
Yes.
Okay, cool. My husband, he used to be a truck driver as well, so I'm very familiar with the profession. That's a lot of long days on the road.
Well, I used to drive over the road, and now I do local. It's still long though, even though I come home every day.
I remember. What's your social media handles? Let the people know where they can find you.
Trenton underscore New Jersey. New
Okay.
Jersey is all one word.
All right. Now, when it comes to you and what you're looking for, what type of person are you interested in dating?
I'm 54. I found out I don't do too well with younger guys.
Why?
Um, I just don't think the maturity level is what I like. You know, I just think the younger people that I have encountered, I don't know about everybody else. They say they want one thing, but then if you put them to the test, they prioritize their friends first. They go to places without you, like gay prides or whatever. Um, the list goes on and on. It's always some crap, you know.
The people want to know how young. They're trying to see if they qualify.
Well, if I had a choice, if I'm 54, I'd say 45 to 60.
Okay, cool. We love
But
that.
there's been a lot of people that's been younger. On the other hand, it ends badly. So I wouldn't discriminate, but I just now know from previous experience it don't work with younger people.
Okay. And when it comes to your love interest, are you interested in getting married and having children?
Now I have a son. He's 37. He has 6 children.
Okay.
Um,
So you a grandpappy.
24 hours a day.
Mm,
Um, and we all live in the same neighborhood. So to start a family over again is something that I would not want to do.
okay. Cool. And you've already given your age range. So if you are dating, do they need to live in your current city? Are you open to long distance?
I'm not open to long distance.
How many cities over? Are we talking like you in Jersey and then New York or DC or Atlanta?
I'm in even though I live in Trenton, New Jersey, my free time is spent in New York.
Okay.
But if I met a man, let's say in DC, it'd have to be real love for me to go back and forth. But DC is where I draw the line at.
Okay.
But mainly anywhere in Jersey and New York.
Anything
You
above New York?
driving
Would you
trucks
go
though?
further?
Like, aren't you on the road all the time?
He's driving local though. He ain't
Oh, you
going
driving
out of the
local?
home.
Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Where I drive now is Jersey, Philly, Delaware, and sometimes Maryland.
Oh, so that's not
Mm.
far. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I knew some great guys in Philly. Philly has some great guys. You been out there?
Well, I was in Philly yesterday. I'm always in Philly, but I don't think that Philly people is for me.
Uh, All right, sir.
I lived
We
in Philly
got
for
you.
6 years. I understand.
Yes.
I'm messing with sweethearts out there. All right. What race and ethnicity do you prefer when it comes to dating?
I've always preferred black, but like I said, with these Puerto Ricans, what can I do? Um,
You can accept or not accept. It's up to you.
um, I would accept, but if you ask me what do I prefer,
Hmm.
it would be a black man.
And are you open to others?
Other races,
Yeah.
um, it would have to catch me off guard, but the answer would be no.
Okay. All right. And what physical body type do you prefer?
Um, the guy doesn't have to be a gym rat, but at least look like you have gone before.
Okay.
So
So you want them to match you or similar to
you
you?
don't have to match me because I find people attractive who is bigger. I think that for whoever a person is, it is their confidence that goes along with their body type. So I guess what it really boils down to is however you look. I don't like people who is still self-conscious about what they look like. It's still saying I must work on it because it just it throws it off. Where if I'm trying to love you and you can't even love yourself,
Okay. Very true. All right. And last question. Do you prefer monogamy, open relationships, or polyamorous relationships?
monogamy. Mhm.
Okay. Those are all my questions.
So if you all have questions for Farrell, use the question function. Or I want somebody to wave and you can come on and ask him a question live, or you can shoot your shot and flirt with him if you want. Okay. Remember, at any time if you want to come on and ask somebody a question, you just wave in the comment section and I'll bring you on. Um, there was a question of when is the last time you went on an actual date, Farrell?
Last week.
Okay, tell us about it.
Um, in New York, they have a party called Fade to Black. It's usually every 2 weeks. Being that this is Gay Pride, it's every week. I usually would tell a person to meet me there. Um, it went no further than that. A
You
lot of
had
times
you
it
you
don't
had a date at the club.
at a bar.
Hmm.
I tell them to meet me there, which is fine because believe it or not, in New York, it's very hard to. If I live in Jersey, to go see somebody who lives in Brooklyn or Queens or Staten Island, whatever. So Manhattan has always been like the focal point, the center point. So
Mhm.
it's easy. It's easy for everybody to get to Manhattan.
Mhm.
So it may sound funny to somebody else to have a date in a bar, but for people who live here, it's
Mhm.
convenient.
Is it a gay bar or a straight bar?
It's a gay bar.
Yeah, I think having a date at a gay bar is hard because um, there might be other gay men trying to flirt with you. You might see people you know, and it's less
Uh,
intimate. Like, yeah,
this gay bar is age appropriate to me.
it's age
Every-
appropriate. Okay, okay.
Everybody's in their 50s, so we've known each other for years.
Oh, right, right, right. So
It's,
it's
it's a
hard to,
double thing for him. So like if the date don't work out, he can hang out with his
and
buddies.
that's the thing because the guy
But
might
believe it,
feel like you're friend zoning him already.
no, because being that, like I said, it's more like the what's that bar Cheers. Everybody know each other. So
Uh-huh.
if I had a date there, it's just me and him. I'm respectable. I would not speak to other people or anything like
I
that. I've
don't
never
want to
had a
go to
problem with
Cheers
it.
for a date, Farrell. I don't want to go to Cheers.
Well, like I said, this is how the local people do. It's understandable for somebody who don't live here to
Yeah,
say that's not a good idea,
yeah.
Mhm.
but this is just what we do.
Okay.
So
And
if you
like I
were
said,
taking them to a gay bar, where would you take your date for a first date? Where would you take them?
I'm a big Broadway person, so like once I get to know you, I just use the fade to black parties
Mhm.
just to meet you.
Mhm.
Once I meet you, and let's say we have some type of chemistry, I'm a big Broadway person, so we would go to Broadway, anything live.
Okay.
There's always some type of entertainment around here, so a show, R&B show, a Broadway show, comedy show, but I would prefer Broadway.
Okay.
Okay.
Fancy. Someone
All right.
said, when was your last relationship?
My last relationship was in February,
Oh, okay. How long was that?
about 10 months.
Okay, okay. And they're asking questions. Why didn't the last relationship work?
I think the last relationship did not work. He lived in the Bronx, and if anybody's familiar with the Bronx, it's the parking is terrible. He lived on a sixth floor with no elevator. Um, it took an hour to find parking and then a half hour to walk to his building. So that was stress enough.
Oh my
He wasn't
goodness.
real. He really wasn't from. Well, he wasn't from here at all. He moved here.
Mhm.
I didn't know that until after I met him. Part of the chemistry, I think, for me, is When I date people who is from this area, we kind of vibe together. He was from Oregon,
Mhm.
so it's like you have to retrain somebody to be a local person.
Really? What are the? I'm getting you want a local, or you want someone who's not local but with local tendencies.
Now, in my younger years, I would meet people. Everybody visits New York, and I would meet people who would visit. And I tell my friends, I met this guy, and they'd be like, "Where he's from?" "Oh, he's from Mississippi." They'd be like, "I'll get the hell out of here." They always spoke bad about it. It
Uh-huh.
took me all these years to understand what they're talking about.
Hmm.
So, do you want to date somebody local or someone who's like a transplant?
No transplants.
Okay.
Local.
Local. You want locals. Okay.
Mhm.
Woo! It's tears. It's fade to black. That's where you're gonna find these people. Okay. Let's see what there are a bunch of questions. So we're gonna answer these rapid. Okay, they're like 10 questions.
Okay.
Are you answering spicy questions?
I might not answer them the way they think they're going to get answered.
Okay, if you're not gonna listen, if I ask them and there's too much, just throw your church finger up. I'm like, move on, Lamont. Okay, okay. Let's see. Oh wait, somebody wants to come on and ask you a question. Let's see. Hold on. Oh Lord, today, Lord, today. It was I saw the face. It was like, like keep it cute. Um, let's see if it opens up. There we go. There we go. Hello, hello, T-Nail.
What's up? Happy Wednesday.
Happy
Hey, how you
Wednesday.
doing?
Happy Wednesday,
Hey,
gentlemen. How are y'all?
we're
All
doing
right.
good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm T Nail. I live in Charlotte,
Okay.
representing TikTok podcast with a question. But no,
I'll
really
be in
wanted to ask
Charlotte
you
in
a
a
question.
couple months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a bodybuilding competition there in October.
Okay, we could do brunch. Let me know.
Of course.
But my question was, it seems like a lot of things that you've been saying, sounds like you like to be comfortable. It sounds like you like to be in places where you're familiar with. I've known from listening to Lamont and other people that dating is also risk taking, and it doesn't sound like you're trying to take no risk. Like you want a local,
I did that before,
and it didn't work out. But that's the part of risk taking. Even though it didn't work before, that doesn't mean stop trying.
but I feel as though I'm not saying that I can't. I'm not. Put it like this: It's 9 million people here in New Jersey. It's 9 million people in New York City. It's like 2 million in Philly.
Hmm.
So within an hour's drive of me, I got access to 20 million people.
That's true.
So I think, as the old saying goes, "Seek and ye shall find." I am single at the time, but I think if I put my nose to the grindstone, something will prevail.
Well, I hear you, but you're here on the dating show that's worldwide. You're on a platform that people are watching from all over, and just listening to it. It just sounds like when you led when they asked why didn't it work out. The first thing you lead with is how uncomfortable it was for you to even have access to them, the stairs, them living on the sixth floor. But I mean, people have that's just where he lived.
That's a
It
New
didn't.
York thing. They if you don't
Yeah.
live in that borough, they ain't trying to even
But here's my thing:
consider
why
you.
initiate? But why initiate, or why? What's that relationship? Because it sounds like you just didn't like the person. If I like somebody enough, yeah, I might not like it, but
You
I'm
gonna
gonna
climb
do
them
it.
stairs.
Yeah, it just
Climbing
sounds
them
like you didn't
stairs.
like him.
I think it was finding an hour parking and then walking a half hour.
It was
Damn,
inconvenient. You didn't
damn.
like it.
That's a long
Yeah.
time.
That's okay.
And there's a whole lot that was left out in that area that he lived in. There was a whole lot of red light cameras. I was accumulating tickets one after another.
But and you, so you were the problem.
You can call it what you want to.
I'm
I'm
st-
I'm
just
just saying.
saying.
I'm
I'm
stressed
just
out from
But
saying.
he was a
the
It,
problem.
hour
it,
and a
it,
half
It
of
was
red
just
light
it wasn't fitting
cameras.
his story, and
it
that's
was too
okay.
much on me. It was too much on me.
I can feel it.
Uh, so my part two of that question, and not to be funny, I know you mentioned like you go to the bar that reminds you of Cheers or people you've known for years. In this bar, have you ever dated anyone in there or attempted to date someone that you may have known? Because it sounds like maybe it may work with somebody that you know for a while that you're comfortable with.
And I've met people there. What I like about the bar is for people who I've met there. If it did not work out, there was no animosity. We still get along. There's no, you know, cattiness.
And do you think the kindness comes with being younger? Like if you were to date somebody who's younger, they would have those tendencies?
Living in Trenton, in between New York and Philly, feeling will give you the cattiness.
Because I've met a lot of older. I'm a daddy lover. I've met a lot of daddies who, when you curve them, they can get kind of petty and catty too. I
That
don't
may
think
be
that's
true, but I'm
necessary.
gonna say not at that place and not with me.
Uh, I think
Right.
that place is there for you to be comfortable, but I think you should try and expand your horizon when it comes to meeting people, and especially not taking them to your like. I feel like the place where you go to date, where you took them for the day, I think that should be maybe a second or third date because it's somewhere where you feel comfortable. But to take somebody somewhere new, especially somewhere where both of you have never been, it allows you guys to really tune
Well,
into each other. There's no really you put yourself somewhere where both of you have that chance to be vulnerable with each other versus like, this is my spot and if you don't work out I'm chilling, I'm finna have a drink, it is what it
no,
is.
I don't have that attitude.
Mm.
But it
Like I
comes
said,
off that way a
it's a
little
mutual.
bit.
So here's the thing. It's a mutual decision to go there. I'll suggest it. They'll agree. I'm not forcing nobody to
Okay.
go.
As long as you disclose it before they pick it, like you say, I'm familiar with this
Um,
bar. As long as you say
but
that, like
they're happy with it. Like I said, I don't have any problem in neither do that.
it
Okay,
works. But
okay.
those are my two questions. So I'm gonna exit stage left. But you
I
are
like
very
you. It was
handsome.
nice to meet you,
And
love.
nice to meet you too.
See you,
And
T
Thank
you're
Dale.
both of you are very handsome. So TTYL and best of luck in Trenton.
All right.
Goodbye. Okay, okay. Let me get to these questions. Okay. Let's see. Pharrell, do you spit or swallow?
Neither.
Okay.
Oh, you a
Oh,
quitter?
but where does the baby batter go?
It wouldn't go in my mouth. That's for sure. I guess it would.
Oh Lord.
uh,
Okay, okay, let's keep going. It's like, how dare you? I'm a gentleman. Let's see. um, what's we answered that question already. Oh, have you ever been married before?
I have not been married, but I've lived with women before.
Engaged before?
I used to be in the army, and I met this lady while I was in the army, and
Me
she's
too.
moved here. And then I've lived with other women who were from Trenton, but I think the longest duration was for the lady who I met while I was in the army,
Okay, what's the longest relationship you've been in?
about 6 years,
And when did you start dating guys?
when I was 25.
Oh, so wait, so do you consider yourself bisexual, gay, queer? What?
Um, all the way up until recently, I was bisexual. The reason why I just don't, it's too much chaos with the women now. I find that what I don't like is they may be fine with it, but I get too much of my friend said, my cousin said, my brother, sister said that you were gay, dragging that into it.
Yeah.
Whereas though it was fine with them. And the problem is other people always raising red flags, something that they already know anyway or suspected, but it just was fine with them.
Right. So you tell the women, hey, you're bisexual and you had
No,
previous.
I don't tell them anything. Um, they with me every day. So it's like if I'm dating somebody, I'm really dating somebody. I don't think what somebody said to them was news to them. But
So you don't tell
the
them you've had sexual experiences.
no.
Okay. Tell me why.
I think for black women, then they will become uninterested.
I think there are some black women who would be okay with it if you were like upfront with it. But
I,
to your point, some of their friends, they have an issue with it.
this has been the story of my life. The friends have the issue, and the female can't get comfortable because the jealous friends and family is always raising that red flag.
So they're like, oh no, he's gay because they probably know somebody or somebody says something. Why don't you tell them up front though?
Because then there will be no relationship.
That's not necessarily true.
But for the ones I've had,
Okay. We gotta broaden your horizons.
Yeah, we
Maybe you
get it.
should
Yeah,
give me some.
there are
and to
networks
tell you
of
the
black.
truth, I would not even want a woman who would still take a man who said he was openly gay. That's just my preference.
You don't want a woman who would date a bisexual man,
I would not.
but that's what you are.
I know that's who I am, but I don't tell it. Now, whether it could be it's just what I do. If
Okay.
I'm dating, because it's just like this. I feel as though that I don't feel that it's a law that you must tell that because it's not like I'm cheating on them. It's
Because you
not
want.
like I'm with. It's not like I'm with the woman and then going to cheat with the man.
Mhm.
No, if I've always been whoever I was with, that's who I'm with.
So you're monogamous,
One at a time.
one at a time. Ah, I think some women they just want to know just so they can have a transparent.
Reassurance,
Yeah,
yes, for what
because if
you
not,
Well,
they
know
feel
what
like
they're
you're
competing
hiding
in.
something.
I'm not hiding anything because I'm not wanting to be with nobody but them.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so that we cleared that up. Okay, let's see what other questions we get.
What branch were you in?
That was in the army.
Where'd you get out as? What was your rank?
I was an E4 specialist for whoever knows what that is.
Let's see. Another question was, what are your non-negotiables?
Non-negotiables is no job. Um, at least you must have a job. No living at home with your mother. You know, now I know people do move back home with their mother when they do get to be my age because their parents may be in their 70s. But I personally, that would be something that I would want to see more of the person I'm dating. And if he has other obligations, then he would not be good for me at the time.
Okay, okay. Um, the last person you were in a relationship, was that a man or a woman?
It was a man.
That was a man. Okay.
Mhm.
So for you, it's just kind of like whoever you meet is like whoever you date.
Like I live here in Trenton.
Mhm.
Believe it or not, here in Trenton, I meet women all the time.
Mhm.
Um, as far as men, they're usually in New York.
Okay. So in this season in your life, who are you looking for? Or is it just kind of like
I'm looking for a man.
you're looking for a
When
man?
was the last time you slept with a woman?
Last summer,
Okay, okay,
That's recent. Okay.
okay. Some more questions. Let's see. Let's see. Do you see yourself financially retiring in the near future?
I don't see myself retiring in the near future, but I'm comfortable.
Okay, okay, you're comfortable. Okay, okay. Last question. Let's see. Let's see. What's another one? Oh, have you ever gone to therapy? Good question.
No, I have not.
No. Okay. We like therapy here. We like the gym. We like
Very much.
therapy. We like that. Okay. So we got to see what you look like from head to toe. So can you back the camera up and turn around for us, please?
And let me see here.
Okay. You all, this is Farrell. Give us a little spin. He lives in Trenton, New Jersey. He is 54 years
Let's see.
old. He's 6'1", 205 pounds. He is a Scorpio. He prefers somebody versatile. He's a truck driver, but does it locally. He's open to getting married, but does not want children. He already has a son and six grandchildren. He prefers somebody that lives in Trenton or New York, DC. If you're absolutely amazing, he will date between 45 and 60. Prefers somebody who is athletic or even, has some type of relationship with the gym or previous relationship with the gym. Um, he prefers somebody who is black. He's into monogamy, and yeah, he's looking for men tonight. Tell us your Instagram handle and spell it for us, please.
Trenton, New Jersey, TRENTON underscore NEWJERSEY.
So I'm gonna tell you, Farrah, these men are gonna be in your DMs tonight. Okay, they are,
So let's see.
and they're not even gonna be 45. I promise you, they're gonna be 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You might get two of the older guys in your DM, but if you go on some dates, come back and give us an update.
All right, well, this weekend, whoever that we go at this weekend, and I'll make sure we won't go to the Feed the Black party.
Thank you.
Okay.
Don't take them to
There.
cheers.
Come
Thank
on.
you.
There's some
Lord
growth. I
today.
love that.
Because they don't
Uh,
feel
I,
special.
I,
They don't feel special if you take them to cheers.
you would or wouldn't?
I would not
Wouldn't.
feel special if you
Wouldn't.
took me on a first date to cheers.
we went through this before, so it's like it's just a local thing, and it's understandable that people who don't live here, they may think other things about it. But like I said, I haven't had a problem, they haven't had a problem. But for this situation right here, I will not do it because it was recommended, and then if I'm supposed to tell you about it,
Yeah.
um, I'm just going to follow the rules.
Okay. Thanks, Sparrow. Thanks for coming on.
All right, thank you.
Bye,
All right.
love. Have a good evening.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Lord, today. Dominus,
Yes, sir.
I'll let you. What do you think? What are you thinking? I'm gonna sip my water over here.
About the last guy.
Yes. What do you think?
Um, Okay, I'm a daddy lover, so I've dated plenty and been in relations with plenty of older men. Um, Older men typically have a sense of wanting to be comfortable because they've done all of the escapades of getting to know people and doing things. I'm prior military as well. Dating military people can be complicated. I have had my fair of therapy. It is definitely needed. It is definitely it should be mandatory. I feel like everyone should honestly get therapy after you get out of the
Oh
military.
yeah, yeah.
Um, he is he's comfortable. Like that man is set in his ways, and that man knows what he wants for himself. And I think you know what? I'm gonna give him some grace. He is at a place in his life where um honestly he's close to the grave than he is life. And he wants to be comfortable and have the
That
things
man
that
gonna
he
live to be
wants that are
100.
important to him.
He gonna live to be 100.
We'll see. I don't know.
Well, no, he might
Um
not. If he need to tell those black women his pet.
Yes, because
Listen,
if you start dating a black woman and you didn't tell her that you're bisexual, that's gonna cause some issues.
right?
It's
Because
gonna cause some major changes.
they gonna unalive you. Or one of their friends will. Like,
I wouldn't dare do that I would do that to anyone, but definitely not a black woman. If I go on, or Caribbean, Jesus.
right.
Oof.
And I just feel like if you le- if you don't share information, that is still a lie.
I definitely
If you intentionally
I agree.
withhold
Uh,
information, it is
that
still a lie.
information, like, I don't believe withholding all information is a lie, but that specific information that has to deal with dating, yes, 100%.
Like
That should be
what you intersexually, and you say, "Oh, I like breast and pussy, blah blah blah," and you leave out that you like man's ass and dick, you're withholding information.
yes, and you're not being honest about what you like, and that person doesn't have a scope of how they can fully pleasure you. Because you may meet a woman that's like, "Hey, I'm okay with you by being bisexual, and I'm okay with you." Because this is the thing with being bisexual, which I think is hard for being in monogamous relationships, is because and I'm not preaching poly, but if I were to date a man that I knew was bisexual, I like. Today I had multiple things to eat. I'm not going to eat one thing for the rest of my life. And if I know you like A, B, and C, if I love you, I'm not going to withhold you from those things.
Yeah,
So even if you have to go get them, you should be able to go get them.
yeah.
Um, so
But look, but
I
here's
agree
my
with
thing
you.
though, especially
I
given
keep
that
asking to speak
he's
Maxwell.
not in the closet. He's not in the
Uh-huh.
closet.
No,
He,
100%. He's not.
he goes to the local gay bar. He's on a gay dating show. So to not mention it, the people are going to find out. And they're going to be like,
I
"Oh
guess
well,
I guess the best way I can see it is he's looking at it from a sense of the information that you need to know you will find out when you need to find out. And I guess he's just holding his cards. And you and I are on the lines of, especially when it comes to dating, like, put it out there because I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to spend the next 3 or 4 weeks trying to figure out how you want your dick sucked or how you want A, B, and C. Just tell me. And if we work, we work. We don't work. The days of trying to guess and write letters and figure it are gone. You
right,
can be upset about what you want
yeah,
and take what you want or deny what you don't want.
yeah."
I think he's stuck in an older way of dating.
Mhm.
He's got his spot where he take them to, and then if it don't work, he do what he want to do. And that's okay. And that's what he wants, and that's what's gonna work for him. And just know that if y'all line up in his inbox, y'all know where y'all going. And you know he's not coming up the damn stairs when he come to see you. And you best have some damn parking in your building because he's not gonna park far away.
That's
So
listen. That stressed me out. He talking about an hour to get there, 30 minutes, and then the red light tickets. I'd have been like, bro, I went home. I ain't coming. I turned around. I'd have left. Mm-mm.
Imagine seeing your man at Pride. I'm weak.
Oh, child. Right. Let's see
Uh,
who's next. What's this? Renaissance guy. Oh, do y'all think he's dateable? Let us know.
yeah, they gotta rate him.
If y'all think he's dateable, put a 10. If not, put a 1. Which I think. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
How you doing?
I'm pretty good at yourselves.
I'm great. Tonight is light skin paper bag night for our
It
guests.
is. Definitely is. Come
Where is the paper
on.
bag? You got to pass the paper bag test to be on tonight. Let's see.
Now it's Manila envelope.
Oh, tell us your name.
Raheem.
Raheem. Nice to meet you, Raheem.
Raheem.
Likewise.
So
Did you paint
typically,
those things behind you, Raheem?
I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I was wondering if you painted the things behind you. They look nice. I like them.
Yes, I painted that and the one above it.
Okay.
Paint that. I have a gallery wall behind me that I'm adding art from local Black artists.
So Raheem, typically I asked all the questions, but Dominus is co-hosting, so he's going to ask you questions tonight. Okay.
Gotcha.
Thank you for joining us this evening, Raheem. All right, so we already know your name, so give us a little bit about where you're from.
I reside in Nashville, Tennessee. However, I've lived in upstate New York and Tennessee, between like the rural area in Stewart County as well as Nashville. But I was born in DC.
Oh, okay. What part of DC?
Ooh, I left at 6, and I don't really remember. I remember something like P Street or Northeast or something like that.
I
I was
haven't been
like
to
too young to
Tennessee.
really remember.
Speaking of Tennessee, I haven't been there. My sister went to college in Tennessee, so we used to go to Tennessee a lot. She was in Collegedale, I think Chattanooga area, but I never made it out to
Gotcha.
Nashville. But I
Okay.
heard great things about Nashville, though. How's
No,
the
she's
how's the gay
cute.
life in Nashville?
It's okay.
Nashville has those rooftop bars, like you go from one rooftop to the next.
I think it's like J Hollywood or something like that. Yeah, they're in on top of the Virgin Hotel.
Yeah.
Now that's nice because they have a pool and they have like a pool party and stuff like that. It's nice.
I'm gonna go to a party. All right, how old are you, baby?
I am 35.
35. Awesome. And your height?
I'm
You
5'6".
Okay, 5'6". And how much do you weigh?
I weigh about 150, 155.
Okay.
It fluctuates.
What does it fluctuate to?
A little lower sometimes if I'm moving a bit more or doing a bit more cardio.
And tell the people your race and ethnicity.
I am Black African American. Same thing as my parents. Dad's side of family from Long Island, New York. Mom's side from Philly.
Oh, okay, so you've been here for a couple of generations. We love that.
Yeah.
And your zodiac sign.
I'm a Virgo.
Virgo. Okay. What are some typical things about Virgos? I tell me.
So my theory is there is the unevolved version of the sign and the evolved version of the sign.
Give us the evolved version.
Okay, evolved version where they're not just focused on the details, but they're also able to stop and like take appraisal of what progress they've made, as opposed to being so goal oriented and just like about taking care of the business. As well as a person who is a bit more into their heart space as opposed to just coming off logical and cold.
Okay. And next question. What is your sexual position? Tell us, are you picking, are you catching, or are you doing both?
With I'm a bottom. However, I am getting more into. I'm exploring my verse uh, aspects, I guess. I can't say I necessarily saw myself here, but um, I often say that I'm not too attached to the version that I am today. I'm open to whatever may come for me.
When was the last time you
'Cause I
topped
definitely
since you're
didn't see myself
exploring?
as gay previous. Say it again for me.
When's the last time you topped since you're exploring?
Joe, I haven't. Well, no, the first time I experienced a man, I did everything. However, that was back in 2018 after I got divorced.
Oh, okay. All right. What type
I
of
was
work?
married to a woman.
Oh, so
Say it again.
you consider
Oh,
topping, heavy penetrating woman topping. Okay.
No, no. The first time I was with a guy, we did everything.
Okay.
I
and then you
topped, I
got
bottomed.
divorced from a woman.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now, when it comes to, we're gonna come back to that. What type of work do you do? Put a pin in that one.
I work in purchasing and receiving. So I run the department, I pay for invoices, hunt down monies and boarding stuff like that.
Okay. Do
It
you love
works for
what you
my
do?
logical side.
And do you love what you do?
I do. I do. It allows me to activate the part of myself that enjoys helping people. As a singer, painter, cook, all those things end with someone on the other end. So that part feeds me in a way where I'm helping the people around me do the things. I'm not cooking the food, but I can ensure that the ingredients that they get are really fresh. The products that they need are there. So
Okay.
stuff like that. Little ways that
Come
I
on,
can
well
do
rounded.
my
We love it.
and show.
Tell the people where they can find you on Instagram, because they're gonna be in your DMs
Uh,
later.
Renaissance underscore guy, RENAISSANCE underscore GIY.
Okay. All right. So the second half of this, we're gonna get into some of your more personal dating experiences and what your
Okay.
preferences are. So, what are the types of people that you're interested in dating?
Uh, Generally, well, I prefer African American for cultural compatibility,
So
but by the
that's
same
racial.
token,
It's
I'm
good to
also
see.
Muslim. I'm
Or
sorry.
I guess character wise, what type of people do you want to date?
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. I love to laugh and I love to be goofy, which seems like I'm very serious at times. I love to laugh, joke, anything creative. But I also like someone who has a dominant side. That's nice.
Are you more submissive?
Can be. I've been told I'm more of a switch.
Oh, okay. Good to know. I hope if y'all don't know what that is, ask. Um, do you want to get married and have children?
I do want to get married. I'm open to children. I just don't know how that would take shape at this junction, but I'm open to it. In my younger years, I was far more tethered to the idea of my life being fulfilled by having a child.
Okay. Hmm. All right. And what's a good age range if you were to start dating some people? What's the youngest? What's the oldest?
Youngest, I would say 33, somewhere within like my peer group as far as younger, but
Hmm.
older, maybe 5 to 7 years older.
All right.
Maybe having like someone wherein we experience similar things to where we have stuff to relate to. When I was younger, when I was more of a gay, I dated men that was older, and I can't say that I learned some things from that. I'll just say that.
Okay. And the for the comments, I see them. A switch is somebody who can be dominant and they can be submissive, so they can interchange between the roles easily. So him being more submissive, he can be dominant if he needs to be. That's what a switch is.
I thought people could
Um,
figure that out by context because you asked him and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm more submissive, but I can be switched."
yes. All right. What city do they have to live in? And do they need to live in your city currently?
I would prefer it in that my love language is quality time and words of affirmation. Words of affirmation can happen in a different place, but
Come
quality
on, knowing your
time,
love
I get to know a
languages.
person. I went to therapy since 2018, so yeah, that and it's something I'm really interested in. Uh, but yes, I would prefer someone that I could at least drive to. Let's say an hour, 2 hours. I'm okay with that.
Hmm. I understand that. My first relationship that I was in, I drove, I put 90,000 miles on my car in the first 2 years. I definitely did. I was driving 2 hours every
Been
weekend
there
to go.
before.
So trust me, I have definitely put my. I think for me now, it's like I don't mind if it's further than 4 hours, we gotta drive. We gotta fly. So I definitely I agree with you there. Now race. You did say black, but let's touch on that one more time. Race and what race do you prefer the person to be?
Prefer African American,
Hmm.
open to someone of melanated experience.
Okay, come on, melanin. We love that. All right, and what physical body type do you prefer?
I guess more average build. I like a person who has like some fluff on them.
Okay.
Where the cuddles and the hugs are magnificent.
Hmm. I totally agree with you. I like a bigger guy as well. All right, and last question: are you into monogamy, open relationships, or polyamorous relationships?
I prefer monogamy. However, similar to the first gentleman, um, to start with the foundation of monogamy wherein we're locked in. And then if we grow into something where we open the relationship, I'm open to a discussion. I've dated someone who participated in ethical non-monogamy, and fortunately for me, it was a great experience. We are still friends now, and there was so much I learned about the work that you do to be in a relationship with people and the communication and things like that. It's not, yeah, it was a great introductory to it. So I have a
Awesome.
great perspective.
Did you guys read the
I was positive.
Ethical Slut? That's a book that a lot of non-monogamists they do recommend. It's good.
Yeah, my friend has advised that book.
All right, I'm gonna let Lamont go ahead.
I miss it. Raheem, what's the longest relationship you've been in?
The one where I was married, 6 years.
Okay, and that was to a woman.
Correct.
Okay, and when did you start dating guys?
As soon as my divorce was finalized.
Okay, because you're 35, and so when was
Correct.
the divorce finalized?
2018, January 15th. Why do I know like that? Because life was happening and I was like, yep, that day.
Okay, okay, so 2018. And now, did you always think you were bisexual, or did something change?
I don't consider myself bisexual. I consider myself gay.
Okay, you consider yourself gay. When you were with your
Yeah.
wife, did you have attraction to men?
So growing up Muslim, very Orthodox Muslim,
Mhm.
what I believed at that time was to do life a particular way.
Mhm,
And in really doing all that I could, okay, well, try it this way, do it the
mhm,
way that the Holy Quran says to do it, and da, da, da.
mhm,
And at a point, it was like, well, my happiness is also important.
mhm,
And then also therapy.
mhm,
Uh, so it was something that I wasn't sure about.
mhm,
I had feelings. I knew I was different. I knew the way I looked at women was different
mhm,
than like my peers, but I didn't know it for sure. Growing up, like really sheltered, like with like just in a Muslim community.
mhm,
So then once I got divorced, I was like, I'm gonna figure out whether this is what this is. Is this me? Is this a moment?
mhm.
Um, I let myself explore what it was, and then found out it's me.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing that because I know there are a lot of people similar situation. They might end up in marriage because of cultural requirements or
Yeah,
religious expectations, and then they're like, no, this is not working. And then afterwards, they start to explore and really
Yeah.
come into their own of who they are, what they want. Yeah.
I definitely understand that. Yes, again, thank you for sharing that. I think I had two relationships with girls, like one or two, and I just realized it wasn't for me. It wasn't. So it's really important to go through that that stage of figuring out what you want. Are you guys? You said, do you still talk to, or
Not currently. However, the last time we talked was like last year. We talked on the phone 3 hours straight.
oh
But
wow,
being that coming from a Orthodox Muslim community, it's really partitioned, wherein like the men do this and the women do that, and like you're not supposed to intermingle, that sort of thing.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So, but also like having a healthy amount of separation between a person that you're no longer in a relationship with. Yes, I still identify as a Muslim. Um, is I believe there's an amount of importance to that. So I wish her well, and I do hope for her happiness in life.
Okay. Okay. If you all have questions for Raheem, use the question function or put them in the chat. Let's see what questions they have for you. Oh, someone said, well, how did your family react when you had the divorce and then you eventually came out?
So some two cousins was like, "Oh, you married a woman?" Shocked. I thought you would just go straight to guys. I was like, "Y'all could have let me know." But
Save you some
then,
tears.
fortunately for me, like, so my mom's side of the family is Christian. They all love me. We're good. My dad, gratefully, like my dad, he'll knock somebody out for me if they say something crazy.
Mhm.
I'm really, really fortunate for that. However, I do have homophobic relatives that their hate is their problem.
Okay. Okay. We get that. We get that. Okay. Let's see what other questions they have for you. Um, what's a lesson did you learn from being a gay bee? I don't understand what that means. What's
Gay
one
baby.
something you learned?
Uh, that sometimes people grow old, but they don't grow wise.
Amen. Amen. Just because you have gray
I
hair
I
does
dated
not mean you're
at like
wise.
yeah at 28 I dated someone who was like 49 and people who were a few years younger. Now there's been gentlemen that in my experience with them I understood I had the capacity to love a man.
Mhm.
So a great learning experience for me. But there were other experiences where I was like, you're just as childish as someone who's 20.
So I read about this recently. They call it your second adolescence. And a lot of older gay
Yeah.
men go through this. It's that sense of that new sense of freedom that they get when they're actually coming out, because they grew up in ages where being openly gay, they were reprimanded for it, and you being able to grow up in the community and have the family to love you for who you were, and not judge you for that, it puts you at a much bigger advantage. So in reference to our last person said, a lot of being older don't mean shit. I have dated some immature older men,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's good to be able to like perceive that from an early stage, because a lot of men think that, oh, daddies and gray hairs means maturity. Some of them are immature and broke, don't got nothing, starting life over.
Woo.
So
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah.
got more questions. More questions. Let's see. Are you open to being a sugar baby?
No.
You said no. No. No.
Respect.
No. No. You said nope. Okay. Um. Did
why
you?
not? I
It,
just want to know. I'm not saying you shouldn't be, but why not?
There's a certain amount of pride I take in earning what I have to where no one can take it from me.
Mhm.
Um, and having had experience, so for 2 years when I moved here to Nashville, I worked in addiction recovery. And in that, you learn about different lifestyles of people who live in that life. And it's a hard life. It can be a hard life. That is not a complexity to my life that I care to add.
expectations come with
Also,
that
like
lifestyle.
expectations and well, quid pro quo that not for me. But also, let's say I don't love this person, and I'm closing myself off to actually being in love with someone and having a marriage and all that stuff. No, Also, I wouldn't be able to do that if I don't love the person. I'm not going to be able to do that.
So
I
can I
get
touch on this, or do you
connected
want to
to a
move on?
Say it again.
So can I touch on that, or do you want to move on?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I've met a lot of sugar babies, and actually I watched a podcast about them recently. I think they do get a really bad like rep. So to being even like not all sugar babies just get sugar. A lot of them put in a lot of work, and not all sugar babies and those type of relationships are based off of love or monetary gain. A lot of them are based off the fact that that person is makes the giver, who is ever supporting them fiscally, makes them feel important in some type of way. So it's not anyone can literally look great and get money, right? Most people who are paying people to be there for them in a relationship are paying for a lot of it tends to be an emotional need. This
Mhm.
person is willing to listen to me. This person makes me feel like when I come home at the end of the day, or if it's 2 or 3 times a week, that way I can release with them. I can be in a safe space with them. The idea of being a sugar baby, I know the term sounds very adolescent, but it's actually quite complicated. It's to be able to to maintain multiple relationships with people and just make them feel seen. You don't have to love them, and they're okay with that. So like honestly, I think if anyone gets the opportunity to be a sugar baby, they should. And it's not a thing based not it's not a thing based off of love. It's based off of being able to provide a service if you think you can to make somebody else feel important about what they're doing because they are lonely. That's at the end of the day, they're looking for someone to make them feel cared for.
So my question is, what is the difference between a sugar baby then, based on what you just said, and a um, sex worker
Sex so sugar babies,
or an
so a
escort
lot
or an escort?
So escorts, sex is implied. I've spoken to escorts as well. So those men are spending lots of money for the
Experience.
appearance. It's an experience
Yeah.
and appearance to be seen with somebody who looks of this stature. You got some ugly ass sugar babies out here, but they know how to talk and they know how to make people feel good. All
Mhm.
right. So they're being paid for that quality. The escort is about the experience, about being able to go out there and to have a public experience with this person, to do things that they normally don't get to do on their own, and they're paying for the experience. Sex is implied. Escorts do not have to have sex. The ones that do make more money, but it's more of the escort can turn into a sugar baby because it's more of like that person has that experience with them, and if they like it, they can continue it, and then that way they don't have to continue having or booking escorts.
Right. So it's kind of like it's like tomato. You're paying for emotional connection or sexual connection or
Yes.
experience. I think a lot of people who I think come on this show, they want to have a connection that does not require financial um, requirements. I guess they just want to connect based on mutual interest, companionship. Because I've seen in those type of situations, if the sugar baby can't perform well, or the escort can't perform well, or the sex worker can't perform well, you get traded out for somebody new.
In a lot of cases, yes. If the relationship is built off sex,
Yeah,
like you guys, you do have your relationships where it's sex and it's money that's exchanged. But a lot of those relationships aren't just only built on sex.
yeah,
There's a lot of emotion. It's
yeah,
not necessarily love, but that is poured into them because those people make them feel seen and they
yeah.
make them feel cared for. Um, if to be a sugar baby, you have to know how to connect with people on a mental level. You really got to know how to do it
You do.
because that person who has money can pay for anybody to have sex with them that is willing to have sex with them when it comes to fiscal gain. To keep a person continually giving you money is a job.
Yeah, yeah,
Having a nice ass is not the only thing you need.
yeah. No, look, no judgment. Just like Bradford just said, some of y'all busting it open wide for free. So
For free, that's a slut. Hoes get paid.
you know, okay. Just some more questions. Let's see. Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, do you eat bacon and booty? Somebody wants to know.
I'm dead.
I don't
Yes,
think you
booty, not
bacon.
bacon. No, I don't eat bacon.
Yeah,
Turkey bacon.
No, I only eat halal actually.
Oh, okay.
Meaning I eat meat from the meat store, from the halal meat market, as well as the halal restaurants.
Okay.
Or I
And
just cook it myself.
yeah, but yes to the booty.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I don't think it's at the halal restaurant though. It might be. It might. It might be. Uh, let's see.
You say Bismillah first is halal according to some schools of thought.
Not you saying it. So wait, you have to say what? You have to say what?
Bismillah. That's a joke. That's a joke. But
Okay.
I was saying, so some schools of thought say that if you say Bismillah over like the chicken from churches, then it's halal. That's what I was
Mm.
saying. Like when eating
So
booty, oh,
if
it's
you say
halal. Yeah.
Bismillah over the booty, then it's okay to eat then.
In the name of God.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Come on, baby.
Is that a word?
The other question was, did you vote for Trump or Kamala?
I did not vote for Trump.
Okay.
I voted for Jill Stein.
For who?
You said
Jill
Jill
Stein.
Oh, child. Okay. Let's see what other questions. Let's see. I think that's all we got. We got. Yes. Okay. We gotta see what you look like from head to toe. You gotta stand up and turn around, Raheem, okay?
All right, so let's
And
move
they want
that
to see these
there.
nails too. They want to see these nails. Yes.
Good nails.
Okay.
Let's see, can you hear me?
You all, this is Raheem. Raheem lives in Nashville, Tennessee. He is 35. He is 5'6", 150 pounds. He is a Virgo, team bottom, but he wants to explore more of his versatile side. He works in purchasing and receiving. Um, he's open to getting married again. He's open to having children. He will date between 33 and 42 about. He prefers you to live in Nashville, however, about like 2 hours away. More into average body, prefers black guys or some guys with melanin. Into monogamy or agreements. This depends on what y'all have and it works out. Tell them your Instagram handle one more time, please.
That is Renaissance underscore guy, RENAISSANCE underscore GIY.
Okay, listen. Awesome interview tonight. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. All right.
Nice to meet
Have a
you.
good night.
You too.
Goodbye. Okay. What'd you think of Mr. Raheem? Not to be
I liked him.
confused with
I
Raheem
did.
Shabazz.
He did a really good job. I think he was honest with who he was and what he's going through, and I think he's open to whatever comes his way. He doesn't seem to have any hard stops with anything. He's assuring who he is. I like the fact that he does have a really great support system at home, so that does instill a certain type of confidence in him to be able to be who he is in whatever relationship. So he's not looking for that in a relationship, which I think is important.
Yeah. I like, and one thing I like about this show is that people come on 95% of the time, they're open and honest about what they're looking for, whether they're looking for love, hookup, or whatever. So I like that he was being himself and not trying to be like a caricature and just
Yeah.
being open and honest. I want to see what you all think. If you all think Raheem is dateable, put a 10. If not, put a 1. I want all, how many people want to hear? 114 of you all to vote. What did you all think? Dateable or not? Jerome, I don't know what you are talking about. What are you talking about in the comment section? Oh, I see ones, I see nines. What else do I? 7. What do y'all think? Is he dateable?
8, 7. He's
Yes,
giving
Ron
8.
Ellis. Y'all can come on here looking for hookups. That's fine. That's what y'all. People have come on here before and done that.
Ain't
Yes.
nothing wrong with a good hookup. I had one
I'm still
yesterday.
waiting for a couple to come on here. Every time we have like one part of the couple, but I've never had like the full couple come on looking for a third.
Looking for a third, or the couple is looking to find someone to date?
Either.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
that would be them looking for a throuple, or a lot of couples they date individually. That would be fun. I would love to watch that. I would do it,
Yeah,
honestly.
we'll see how it goes. Okay, I see. He's averaging about like a 7 or 8. Okay. Let me see. I think that's all the people we have. Yes, that's all the people we have. How was this experience for you, Dominus,
It
like
was
co-hosting?
it was really great. I loved meeting new people and seeing their perspective on different things. Um, we all have room for growth, so it allows you just to see where different people are, and then to apply some of those things to how I view things as well. You know, my point of view isn't the only point of view, and I think it's important when you're dating other people and you're opening yourself up to other people, is being able to see the world through their eyes as well.
Love it, love it, love it. So next time we got to get some of your friends who are into like the BDMSM world to like shoot their shot. We had guys who were into like feet fetish come on before, and that was great. So get your friends to agree this time, okay?
Definitely. I got you
Show them,
100%.
show them the video and be like, listen, it's not that bad. You know, long as you don't be on here with some bullshit. We're very nice here. Are,
I'm an open book, so any questions
are
I want to
lying to
know.
black women.
That part.
A mess, a mess. Okay. Well, thanks for coming on. Have a good night, Dominus.
I appreciate it. It was really nice meeting all of you guys. If you have any
Yes.
questions, please DM me. I am at Mr. Dominus underscore DC.
Okay. All right. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye. Okay, people. Okay. What did y'all think about the show tonight? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, y'all. What y'all think of the show tonight? Hmm? I thought he was a great co-host. Don was definitely a great co-host. All right, so we are done. Somebody said we're open to talking to body parts. I don't know what y'all talking about. All right, so I will. I forgot to post last week's episode until like right before I got on. So last week's episode is posted on the YouTube channel. So I'll probably wait until like Friday or Saturday or something to post this one. Okay. All right. Until next week, I will talk to you all later. Good night. Good night.